Hello friends, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Mina, and on this channel I want to share my art journey and hopefully inspire you to pick up a pencil, a pen, a crayon, and yeah, just have fun and do something artistic. So with that being said, I wanted to share with you my art and coloring supplies, because if, for example, you are starting out, it can be difficult to know which ones to choose from. And also I talk about the supplies I use in my completed pages video, so this way if you see the supply, then you see the results, you can be able to match it and know what you'd expect. The very first supply I wanted to show you is the one I use the most, which are colored pencils. So I have three sets of colored pencils. I have the Faber-Castell watercolor pencils, I have the Luna 48 set, and then the Prismacolor. So this was the very first set I bought when I started out. Don't worry, the colors are not always this organized. I just did it for the video. So yeah, this is the very first set I bought, and I had it for about a year. And when I started getting into adult coloring, I watched some videos and everyone was talking about Prismacolor. So I decided to get this one as well, and I got the 72 set. So this is the one I have. I also got a few, like I think I got 4 or 5 extra pencils because I was following a color along tutorial and she had pencils I didn't have. So I got extra. So I arranged them in like according to height so that I can put the extra pencils on top. And yeah, these are the ones I reach for the most because it's so vibrant, it's so easy to blend. And when I started using this colored pencils, I really saw an improvement in my coloring. These are my favorites. For the watercolor pencils, I haven't had a good experience with them, to be honest. Maybe I have to use them over time to be able to master it and figure it out. But for now, I don't use them as much. So yeah, these are my colored pencils. And to show you what I've been able to do with the colored pencils, this page is one of the pages I did with the Staedtler Luna colored pencils, which is okay, but it's not really bright and vibrant as much as I want. And this is a page, hold on a second, this is the page I did with the Prismacolor. So it's like this is stark contrast in the vibrancy of the colors. This was also done with Prismacolor. So yeah, I actually like the Prismacolors now. Next we have crayons, and I got this from Daiso, and Daiso is like the dollar store of Korea. They have very affordable art supplies. It says here color pencil, but they are actually crayons, and I haven't used it for any major projects, so I'm thinking about donating one and keeping one for maybe color challenges, because I feel like if I use a supply I don't use quite often, it would push me to think outside the box and maybe improve my skills. So these are the only crayons I have at the moment. And next I have oil pastels. So again, I don't know much about this brand. I saw oil pastels and I decided to get one, and I went online and I saw these ones and they were quite affordable, so I bought them. And I haven't used them as much. I actually quite gave up on oil pastels, but I decided to give it another go, and right now I am quite happy with this set. I mostly use them for backgrounds. I haven't done any actual like coloring with them. Let me show you a background I used this pastel set for. So this was done with oil pastel, like the background, and then there's another page, just a second. Yes, the yellow on this background was also done completely with oil pastels. I also noticed that if you like the lighter colors work better than the darker colors, so I don't know, maybe I'll just keep using the lighter colors in this set. But for now I am quite happy doing backgrounds with this one. I also these flowers with the oil pastel set. I think I saw some tutorials on YouTube, and after a few days I wanted to try it out. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. So I guess I just have to keep using it and then get used to, you know, the oil pastel medium. Talking about oil pastels, I also have a fixative, because oil pastel, you know, you have to fix them or else they'll transfer onto the other page. So I don't use this for only oil pastels, but for all my pages, especially the ones I use colored pencils, I use this fixative. I also bought this online, and anytime I'm using it, I wear a mask. I open my windows wide because, you know, you have to be safe when using some of these things. So this is my fixative. Next we have paints and brushes, and these are the brushes I've been using. Again, they are not really top quality or artist quality. They are just brushes I got from Daiso, which is okay. So for now, these are the brushes I've been using. Next you have the paints. So I have watercolor and then acrylic, but I don't use my acrylic that much because I feel like they are a difficult medium to work with, so I don't use it often. I've mostly used the black out of the entire set, and I think they're white. And then I have watercolors, which I've used a lot because I have a watercolor coloring book, and for most of my coloring pages, if you've watched my completed pages, I start a base layer with watercolor, and then I go over with colored pencils for details and for shading. So yeah, I am running out of yellow, and I think white and green, and maybe when I do run out, I would get like a better quality watercolor, but for now these are fine. And then I have the masking fluid, which I bought not too long ago. It's new, I haven't used it before. It just spilled and then the label came off, so I can't say how well it works because I haven't used it before. But yeah, maybe in future videos I'll let you know how well it works. So these are like my painting supplies, and to show you some of the results I've achieved with these paints, this is my watercolor coloring book, which I've made several videos on, and this is one page I used the watercolor for. I started with watercolor and then colored pencils for some shading and details. I've done a couple of pages in this book, so just a second, let me show you another example. Yeah, this was also done with these watercolors, so I think they are good, and probably you don't really need expensive supplies to get good results, so I'm happy with these ones. For the acrylic paint, I used the black for a page in Mythic World, and this is what I came up with. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I feel like anytime you use black on a page, it makes the other elements really stand out. So I've used this on this page and another page, but yeah, this is the acrylic paint in action. Next we have markers, and this is a 12 metallic acrylic marker set, and I've used them just a few times and they are okay. Again, I got these from Daiso, so not really fancy art supplies, but it serves its purpose. And then I have these acrylic markers I got a few days ago. I went to work somewhere and then they were going to throw this one out, and I was like, hey, I need this. So I think some have dried out, but I'll just have to test them out and see. I don't even know the brand because I don't know, I don't have the packaging, but it's written I think in Chinese. So yeah, these are the acrylic markers that I have. They're actually like pens, so this is how it looks like. Let me see. Yeah, this is how it looks like. And yeah, next I have alcohol markers. This is a set of, I don't know, maybe 70 something. And what's the name? Comet. So again, these are not like the super fancy brands like Ohuhu. I also got this online and I've been using it for about 2 years now. and yeah, it's good. So I would show you some of the pages I've done with these supplies. I did this page, I did the planets and the stars with the acrylic marker sets, this one. And then for the whale and the black background, I used my acrylic paint I showed a few minutes ago. So yeah, this is what you can achieve with this one. And for the alcohol markers, this is a page I did with the alcohol markers. I used colored pencils for some details, but yeah, it was mostly done with alcohol markers. This the lead through at the back. Next, we have my pen collection, and this is a watercolor pen. I've used this just a few times because it's water based. It tends to tear the paper up, especially when it's very thin paper. So I've used it for just one sketch in my sketchbook. I used it for this page, and it might not really show on camera, but there are some parts that it looks like it's about to rip. So yeah, maybe I have to use it on more steadier or watercolor paper, because I think looking back at this, I quite like how it turned out. So for my pens, I have these fine liners. So the page I just showed, I used the watercolor pen, and then I use the fine liners on top. And I also have gel pens, white gel pens for highlights, erasers, and pencils in this container. So this is my set of pens, gel pens, pencils, everything. It's here. This is a page I did with the gel pens. For the background, I used this metallic acrylic set. I think it was the silver. But for the whale, the trees, and the flowers, I used gel pen for the entire thing. And this is actually the first time I've used gel pen to color before. And I was actually surprised with how well it turned out. So I'll probably use them quite often for maybe very small and detailed pages. Next are supplies. I'll put in the others category. So this is Mod Podge, and this is used to sew or fix a page. And I haven't used it before, but I've seen completed pages, and it gives a shiny or shimmery feel to your finishes. So I'm really excited to use this one. This is also something I picked up. So this is, if you mix it with paint, I think it's supposed to be acrylic, you'll give it a glitter finish. This is pearl, this is matte, and this is gesso. But so far I've used this and I wasn't really impressed with the results, so maybe I'll give it another go. So these are highlighters, and yeah, I think I used this when I was doing my reading journal, and I've done 1 or 2 sketches with this. But yeah, these are the highlighters. And also washi tapes. This type I use it for like the borders when I'm coloring, so that it doesn't go out of the lines I wanted to. And these are also like for decorative purposes. So I think those are all the supplies I have, and as you can see, they are not really expensive or top brands, but so far I've been able to make them work, and I believe you can be able to do the same. So if you'd ask me what to choose, I think it comes down to a matter of preference, but it also depends on what you want to focus on. So for example, if you want to do like the new bold and easy coloring that is coming up, maybe alcohol markers would be best because they are easy to use, and nowadays there are a lot of tutorials where you can achieve very cool effects using alcohol markers. Maybe you can try color pencils, or you could just pick up a few like supplies every now and then test them out. For example, these are not too expensive, so if I don't like them, then I don't really feel too bad because I didn't break the bank when I was buying them. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Have fun making art, coloring, all those things. Until next time, bye bye.